Today. This will be the tall, short version of what to do about Iran. President Trump and Biden have had a common view that Iran cannot get a nuclear weapon. That's off the table. Why did they say that? It'd be the most destabilizing thing in the world, I believe. If Iran ever acquired a nuclear weapon capability, I think the Sunni Arab world would want to go down that road also. You'd have a nuclear arms race in the Mideast. But more importantly to me, I think they would use it. I think if Iran had a nuclear weapon, they would use it as part of their radical religious regime. The Ayatollah and his henchmen are virtual religious Nazis. They openly talk about destroying the state of Israel. They write it on the side of their missiles, and I believe them. I believe that they want to purify Islam, take over the holy sites in Saudi Arabia, wipe out the Jewish state, and drive us out of the Mideast. And a nuclear weapon is part of that agenda. It's not an insurance policy for regime survivability. It is a weapon to carry out one of the most extreme religious ideas on the planet. So here's what we're doing today. Senator Cotton and I believe that the only way to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon is for them to completely dismantle their enrichment program. Without enriching uranium, you cannot make a nuclear weapon. That is non-negotiable for us. Complete dismantlement. President Trump said that this weekend, and in our resolution, we describe in granular detail what dismantlement would look like. So if you want to know what the Senate Republicans think about dismantlement, you can read this resolution, and this resolution mirrors what Israel would be believes to be an acceptable outcome on dismantlement. They have enough highly enriched uranium, the Iranians do, to make at least 6 nuclear weapons. Now, Senator Cotton is the Intel chairman. He knows this space far better than I. But the difference between 60% enriched uranium and 90 is a very short walk. The stockpile they have achieved, again, would allow them, with just a little bit of time and extra effort, to produce 6 nuclear weapons at a minimum. What I want people to understand is that the Iranians claim that they enrich for peaceful nuclear power purposes, that their enrichment program is designed to make sure they have fuel for their reactor, their peaceful nuclear reactor. The question becomes, how much of the enriched uranium have they used regarding the Bashir reactor? Not 1 gram. They get their spent fuel to run the reactor from the Russians, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Iran having peaceful nuclear power. I'm okay with them building new nuclear power plants as long as they don't enrich. That the nuclear fuel supply comes from outside of Iran, it will be completely controlled. I'm okay with a 1-2-3 agreement with Iran like we have with the United Arab Emirates after they completely dismantle their enrichment program. And the history of this program is full of lying and cheating. The IAEA has caught Iran lying and cheating more times than I can count. So we're going to call the question sooner rather than later on Iran. This resolution by myself and Senator Cotton is designed to buy into the concept being pushed by the Trump administration. Complete dismantlement, and then, and only then, talking about a 1-2-3 arrangement for peaceful nuclear power. Anything short of that would be a bad deal. Anything short of that, I think, would ensure over time they get a nuclear weapon. President Trump, I spoke with him this weekend. He believes a nuclear weapon in the hands of Iran would be a nightmare for the world, and he is exactly right. So to the Iranian regime, you claim all you want is a peaceful nuclear power program, you can have it, but you cannot enrich. And you must dismantle, and you must dismantle now. If negotiation and diplomacy fails, we need to go to Plan B. And Plan B would be a military strike to stop the nuclear program in its tracks and degrade it as much as we can. I will turn it over to Senator Cotton now, but end with where I started. The world has many problems. Russia, Ukraine, we're in trade conflicts. I think we had some good news today with the UK, and it looks like the critical minerals deal was approved in Ukraine, which is good for the United States. But of all the problems that we're dealing with as a world and as a nation, the nuclear capability of Iran, their desire to continue to enrich at a level that has no commercial purpose. There is zero commercial purpose for uranium enriched at 60%. You only do that to have a threshold capability to make a weapon. And the difference between 60 and 90 is weeks, not months, not years. So we have laid out a resolution. We expect our colleagues in the Senate, Republicans and Democrats, who say they don't want a bomb, they oppose a bomb by Iran, to jump on board. We're reinforcing Secretary Rubio, Steve Witkoff, and the administration's position of dismantlement, and then, and only then, talking about a 1-2-3 agreement for peaceful nuclear power. I am hoping that we can get a lot of co-sponsors quickly. We can take this to the floor of the United States Senate and aid the effort that the Trump administration has embarked upon to make sure Iran never gets a nuclear bomb. Senator Cotton.